Welcome back, everybody. This is our MRS21 Fall 2021 Midterm Review Part 5 for the final 5 questions we're going to go over. If you find this video helpful, leave a comment or tell me how things are, what's maybe I can change, I'm going too fast, or maybe need a little more background on certain things. Please let me know. I truly appreciate it, though. And of course, we would truly appreciate a like if you find this video helpful. Number 21. Given the equation x squared minus ax plus 15 equals 0, which statement must be true? So we see that there are things talking about the roots. So let's find the roots, or really, we can factor this. Two numbers that multiply to 15 and add to -8. Well, in this case, I know 5 times 3 is equal to 15, but 5 plus 3 does not equal to -8. -5 plus -3 equals -8. So maybe -5 times -3 also multiplies to positive 15. So the numbers we use for factoring are -5 and -3. Whenever x squared, which 1x squared, we want to see which numbers will multiply to the constant and add to the middle term. The middle term, in this case, the middle coefficient in this case, which numbers multiply to 15 and add to -8. And in each the front, x and x, and the two numbers you find will be, in this case, the numbers go into parentheses. Well, we set both equal to 0, so x minus 5 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0, to get x equals 5, and x equals positive 3. So those are the roots. Those are the roots, our solutions in this case. Some of the roots, well, 5 plus 3 is 8, so it can't be this one. Both the roots are greater than 0. I think it's going to be choice B. I'll put a little check here. One root is less than 0, the other greater than 0. No, they're both can be greater than 0. One root is 0, and the other root is greater than 0. Nope, definitely both greater than 0. So therefore, our answer would be choice B. So yeah, this is basically find the roots, and then talking about them. Not just find the numbers, but take a look at how we can see how they compare. 22. What's the product of the roots of x squared minus 4x plus k if one of the roots is 7? Well, I always say in this case, whenever they give me one of the roots, we're plugging into the equation. Of course, this equation is going to be equal to 0 because the roots are the value of x when the equation equals 0. So we'll plug in 7. The root is 7. So here we have 7 squared minus 4 times 7 plus k equals 0, which is 49 minus 28 plus k equals 0. Now 49 minus 28 is going to be 21 plus, so 21 plus k equals 0, which means I'm going to subtract 21 on both sides. I get k equals 21, negative 21 actually. So our equation is now going to look like this: x squared minus 4x minus 21 equals 0. So we're looking for the product of the roots. Now, our formula for product of the roots is going to be c over a, the constant over the Lie coefficient. Here, our c value is negative 21 over 1, so our answer is negative 21. It just happens to be the same value of k. Okay? Be very careful when you see a problem like this, because it's not always the number you find. It might be, in this case, what they're asking for. So you have to worked out nicely because they're both the product of the root and k was the same thing. If you have the sum of the roots and b, it might be the opposite, because in this case, the sum of the roots is negative b over a. So it's not necessarily finding the answer for b. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The roots of the equation x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 0 are, and so again, we have one of these questions where we're asking about the nature of the roots. And nature of the roots really means, in this case, discriminant. So first off, our discriminant formula is b squared minus 4ac. This is the expression that's found underneath the radical in the quadratic formula. And our a, b, and c values will be, well, 1x squared means a is 1. Neg 10x means b is neg 10, because again, the b value is the number multiplying the x term. Finally, c is the constant by itself. So now we just plug in values of a, b, and c to our formula. So we have in this case negative 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 25. Well, negative 10 times negative 10 is 100. Minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 25 is 100. Whoa. So 100 minus 100 is 0. So when b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, definitely not imaginary. Okay? Now, definitely real. And because the number under radical is 0, no, we simplify out, so it's not irrational. But in this case, whenever this squared equals 0, the roots will be equal to each other, meaning the two roots will have the same value. So that would be choice C. So whenever when we talk about the roots being equal to each other, what really means in this case is that you are going to have the discriminant equal to 0. Okay, so definitely look for that. Number 24. If it should be A equals negative 3 plus 5i. So sorry, everybody. This is on the fly. There we go. So if A equals negative 3 plus 5i, and B equals 4 minus 2i, and C equals 1 plus 6i, where I is the imaginary unit, then A minus BC equals, well, we're going to replace A with just negative 3 plus 5i. That's A. And then we'll replace B with 4 minus 2i. And C with 1 plus 6i. And so at this point, when we do order operations, we normally do multiplication before addition or subtraction. So we're going to multiply in this case. 4 times 1 to get 4. 4 times 6i to be plus 24i. Negative 2i times 1 is negative 2i. And finally, negative 2i times 6i is going to be negative 12i squared. And that's all in just a product. After we're done, we'll subtract that from negative 3 plus 4 plus 5i. Well, I squared, if you guys remember, I squared is equal to negative 1. So we're going to place this I squared negative 1 times negative 12 gives me a positive 12. Add that with the 4. 4 plus 12 is equal to 16. And then the 24i minus 2i is plus 22i. Fantastic. So now this becomes negative 3 plus 5i minus 16 plus 22i. But we're going to have to distribute negative. So in this case, we'll distribute negative here. We end up getting negative 3 plus 5i minus 16 minus 22i. And we combine like terms with 5i. Make sure I write it properly. So negative 3 plus negative 16 is equal to negative 19. And 5i plus negative 22i, well, it's really 22 minus 5, which is going to be 17, but negative, so minus 17i. And this is our answer, matching up with choice C. Okay, so we're just substituting in the values of A, B, and C, working it out with order operations, multiplication first. And now you might think, well, should I multiply negative 1 at the same time? I like to multiply two binomials first and then multiply the whole thing by negative 1. Kind of doing the steps allows me not to get too caught up with, if I just make an error, it'd be pretty bad. Our last question. If x minus 1 is a factor for x squared minus kx squared plus 2x, what is the value of k? So if we're told x minus 1 is a factor, then what we should know in this case, we set that equal to 0 to find out what x is equal to, which is 1. And so if x minus 1 is a factor, x equals 1 should be the root. So when we set x cubed minus kx squared plus 2x equal to 0, that means x equals 1 is a number we could plug in and be a solution. So now we're plugging in 1 to the third minus k times 1 squared plus 2 times 1 equals 0. That's 1 to the third, just 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And in this case, we have 1 squared is 1 times k is minus k plus 2 equals 0. So we'll solve for k. I would add k to both sides. I like just making sure my numbers are positive. Just don't want to deal with that. So 3 equals, oh, look at that, 3 equals K, giving us choice C. Okay. All right, everyone. That's our last question in the review sheet. And I hope you have found these reviews helpful. And I hope you guys, if you do find it helpful, yeah, again, appreciate any the like if you can do it, like the video. Also, if you leave comments to let me know how I can make the videos better for you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. All right, and I hope that you guys do well on your midterm. And if you have any more questions, please email me. Well, you know what? Just leave in the comments. That'd be great. All right, so I will see you soon in the next video. Everyone, take care and be safe.